Welcome back to my beloved Oslo. As you can tell, winter has arrived compared to the last episode I shot with Frank Walton. I'll link it above. Welcome to Behind the Business. Now, in this episode, I'm going to take you behind a business and a brand that I know you will love and probably already own the equipment and the products from. One Piece. It was an absolute phenomenon. When I was about 20, 21 years old, I remember it was the item to have. But the business is still going extremely strong. They actually had their best year last year. They make these incredible one pieces, kind of cozy clothing, loungewear, however you want to call it. But these chaps, the founders of this business, Thomas and Ulla, who I'm going to chat to now, they have done celebrity endorsements and have ambassadors like Justin Bieber. They've had Bella Hadid, the Kardashians. The celebrity list is unbelievable. And these guys have succeeded purely because they've asked for it. They've asked and never taken no for an answer. Ollie's going to tell stories of when he went to London and they wouldn't allow him to have a space to sell his products in the place to be. And he called the guy every Tuesday and Thursday to make sure after 6 months they finally let him in. Perseverance is key. Incredible episode coming. I'm going to run inside because it's freezing cold. I hope you enjoy it. Cheers. All right, boys, should we do this? We ready? All right. Boys. And action. So, I love what you guys are wearing. Is this the new season, or?
This is the new season.
This is, yeah.
This is the winter is coming season. This
Exactly what it's called.
snowing outside, so this is a perfect,
Yeah.
perfect start of the season.
Thanks for offering me one. I'm freezing. But,
We have this one for you.
Yeah, go on. Just put it out.
Let's
Should I put it on? Let's do it.
Put it on, put it
Go
on.
All right, I'm gonna do it. So, I have to get naked then, right?
yeah.
Perfect time. Camera's rolling. I'm gonna take the boots off. I'm probably gonna get so hot in this now. Here we go. Oh wow, it's oh look, it's even like that's actually quite cozy. Here we go.
Actually quite cozy. It's the most cozy thing on the planet.
Not actually, but it's like it's because it's padded inside as well. All right, we ready? I'm gonna regret wearing a top under this, aren't I?
This one I think is the warmest one we have.
There we go.
And it's got the hood.
Yeah, I got the hood.
Let's do it, boys.
Sip it all the way up.
All the way up.
Let's go. There you go.
So, boys, fill me in. Take me back to the beginning, man. One Piece. You know, we know and love it. I remember it. We're going to get to how I remember it and how I experienced it. But yeah, I mean, where did it start? Like, where does the idea for this come?
Well, it came from Norway. We, me and my two business partners, Knut and Henrik, we were selling hoodies and sweatpants, and they were very popular. And on a Sunday, we were very, very cold, and we were lying in the sofa, hangover, and when you lie on the sofa and it's cold in the apartment, you know, the hood kept slipping up. So to keep it on, we sewed it together in the lining. And then you kind of, you know, you solve that problem, but now you have when you had to get it off, you had to cut it open. So then we're standing there kind of with this jumpsuit, which, you know, kind of looked quite cool.
You literally, that's how you created the first
That was the first kind of
MVP product.
First MVP product. And then there was a group of friends who bought, I think it was for Russebus or something, that bought like a batch of them, and then.
So you decided to sell them. You said like, so you were sitting on the sofa, like hungover or whatever. How old are you at this point? You're
20, I don't know, 22, 23 maybe.
okay. So young. You're sitting in your mate's flat. You're hungover. Your jumper keeps sliding up, right? The hoodie keeps sliding up from your pants. Yeah. So you decide to sew it together, and then you realize, I need a piss. I can't take it off. So you cut it down the middle, and then you're like, hold on a minute. This is amazing. Yeah, exactly. And then where did you go from there to like creating your first actual one that weren't sewn at home?
Well, we made some prototypes and some samples that were just like lying around the office and stuff like that. And I remember I had a girlfriend who had broken up with me at the time, and
all good business to start.
Yeah. and I was gonna go out to town for the night with the boys, and everyone's usually wearing like their dinner jackets out to town and like poshing up and stuff. And I thought, not tonight. I just want to I want to get some attention tonight, so I put on like a purple one piece, and I didn't get into any clubs, so I was just standing in line for half an hour in the cold, and then he came to the door, and like all my friends went in. The bouncer was like, I don't think so. But so I didn't get into any clubs that night. But a lot of people came up to me and asked me, "What is this? Where'd you buy it? How much does it cost? Where can I buy one? Where can I buy one?" I probably got like 50 people asking me that question. So that's kind of how how I kind of thought, okay, this is something that can be more than just like a gimmick thing.
Product market fit.
Yeah.
But there's an interesting thing there, Thomas, about sort of, we as entrepreneurs or anyone who is an entrepreneur, and you want to be entrepreneur too, you're encouraged to like do customer interviews. Yeah. Right, but this is like a creative way to do it, right? Because I feel like a lot of us are embarrassed to sort of go out into the crowd and go, "Hey, would you buy one of these? A scale of 1 to 5. Would you buy it for a gift for a friend or whatever?" But in your case, you were like, "No, I'm just going to wear it in my everyday life and then see what people reacted to."
Because with One Piece, right? That's where you got the reaction. You instantly saw that there was a demand for this weird product. Because you got the reaction like, often the reaction was like, "What are you wearing? Where'd you get it?"
Yeah. What the hell are you wearing? What the hell are you wearing? And where can I buy one?
Yeah,
that was the two questions.
It wasn't more than a few minutes out on the street. You would see like, okay, this is something that's going to fly.
So you're out there, you're getting this like traction. 50 people come up to you, and you're like, "Hold on a minute. Where do you go from here?"
And we started selling it on a website. We were running a website at the time called beltespender.com.
Beltespender.com.
Very beautiful pronunciation. Yeah, exactly. So that means belt buckles in Norwegian. Beltbuckles.com, and that's actually how me and Ollie partnered up for the first time. He was my Mark Zuckerberg for marketing. So he ran a website in Norway, put out a lot of like party pictures and stuff like that. So Ollie was marketing the website, and on beltespender.com we sold mostly belt buckles. But then we started selling
belt buckles?
Well, everything from like the first one we started selling was, it said "Got Beer." And you could open up your beer bottle on the belt buckle.
On the belt.
Everyone wanted it, right?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy when you came into the pre-game with the boys and you just like on your belt buckle.
Everyone loved it.
Yeah, that was and again, like an experience. Everyone's like, where can I buy one? Where can I get one? Beltespender.com.
Is it still live?
No, that's not live anymore. No, I think we threw away like 100,000 belt buckles a few years back. It was the market stopped.
Okay,
So,
people
we
grew
got
up.
other things to focus on. But so we started selling the one pieces on that website.
Yeah.
And after a few months, that one product was selling more than all the other products combined. And that's when we decided to take that out as a separate brand and call it One Piece. And we started that in September 2009, kind of that own website, onepiece.no. And then that fall, we did some posts with Voe, who was like the biggest blogger at the time. And it really just exploded. And then Ollie, you heard about it over in the UK that fall.
Yeah, and I thought like, well, I called Thomas because we knew each other from the
belt business.
From the belt business, and said, dude, Norway there's like 5 million people, and UK there's 65 million people, and I don't think it was more than 48 hours until you were like, in London with like some boxes of One Pieces, and just like, yeah, let's go. And
I remember there was and there were big boxes. These were like, I think they were like a meter long, and they were big boxes, and I was flying by myself. So I couldn't move them. Like I was moving them across London, but I could only move one at a time.
Yeah.
So I was like on the tube and between taxis, I was like had to move one and then run over and get the other one. So I was like, yeah, it was tough.
Because I still remember that picture when you came in the London cab, and I was like, yeah, they're waiting. And then you just open the door, the London cab opens that way, and it's like, out like comes these boxes.
You on top of them. Like,
Thomas almost like falling out after them. Yeah. That was funny. We got loads of product. We set up a warehouse in London. Another quite important like note for like the entrepreneurial part is that shipping, like selling stuff from Norway to London, is impossible. Like with the import and tax duties and everything, you need to set up a separate sort of warehouse in within the EU, or not anymore, like at least in London, right, to ship it there.
Yeah, it was difficult. Yeah,
it was super difficult, right? It was like basically impossible. You had to be physically present. So we got a warehouse.
So you couldn't do drop ship basically, or is that what you're trying to do? Sort of like send stuff over. People would order online and just So you got your first hurdle basically, like how are we going to make this actually work?
Yeah, exactly. So then was there any way to ship stuff from Norway to the UK? Would that be?
Yeah, of course there was a way, but it would be like you would probably ship it with the post, and that would probably take a couple of weeks, and it would be okay priced, and it would be stuck in customs for a long time. Or you would ship it with like DHL or UPS, which would cost you back then like 2,000 kroners kind of thing to ship it over there. Like it was just, it wasn't like 2009. It wasn't like set up for international distribution from Norway. It still really isn't, but yeah, at least it was a lot worse.
As we set to that warehouse, and then we and our marketing budget was like zero. We had loads of products. And what we wanted to do was to get, copy Thomas's success from running around town with this One Piece on and getting attention, and started giving it to like cool kids. We went to all the festivals we could do. We went to start arranging One Piece parties around the universities, going to like freshers fairs, that sort of stuff.
Where did that idea come from you? Where did it come from to go like, you know what, this is the cool kids have to have this? Was that because that's what worked in Norway, or was it like, because you remind me of, there's that juice brand in England that was bought by Coca-Cola. I'm blanking on the name right now. It was a smoothie brand. Not Naked. It was founded by two Oxford grads, and basically they went to festivals, and they had a smoothie truck, and they had two bins. The one bin said, well, the question was, should we quit our day jobs and do this full time? One bin said yes, one bin said no. And at the end of the festival, all the empty cans, were in the yes, you should quit your day job and do this full time. Innocent Smoothie, that's the name. So that's the story of Innocent Smoothie, and they sold it to Coca-Cola for $1 billion or so, So, but they did this. You didn't know about that then? So this was also organic. You guys were like,
and it was a little bit of that around. So when we went to all these festivals, I think the biggest inspiration was the Red Bull Wings. Actually, met a lot of these Wings kids.
is that kids who were ambassadors?
Exactly, they were always the coolest kids, right? So what Red Bull did, they really found like who is the sort of opinion leaders within these small cliques or small network groups, and then be like, take the coolest kids, and the influence that they had on their peers was immense, right? So it's just about going to these cool places and meet these cool people. And we, remember we were just 20 something at the time as well, right? We went and had great fun. Like we were not like, it was like cynically looking for people. We were just partying and meeting people and making friends and be like, oh my God, you're cool. Do you want a free one? Like, yeah, sure. And then everyone just gets into it and has a great time. That was an awesome time.
Because that's like the early days of influencer marketing. Because this is like early days Facebook. Facebook was 2006, right? It's 3 years after Facebook launched. So they're sort of like seeding this ambassador, because obviously we're going to come to a little bit later about your new businesses, which you've been involved in, which is sort of seeing the power of an individual in a group, right? Like sort of, if you want to call it a ringleader, a queen bee, the king of the group. How do you find this person? What's your strategy to finding this person?
Well, I think it's it takes a bit of practice, but like when you go to, for example, university, right? So we often did that. We came to so we had this double-decker one-piece bus. After a while, third fresher. First we started with like first fresher we came to. We started with like a little golf car, like a Volkswagen Golf, and we put some like a zipper wrap on it, and full of one-piece box in the back. Second freshers, we had a mobile home, which we also wrapped in like one-piece stuff.
And this is to stand out, right? You're like, how can we make an impact? And everyone go like, well, what's going on here?
Exactly, like a
And then we had the fire truck.
And we had a fire truck. Yeah, that was awesome.
How did you get a fire truck?
We found it in Finland, actually. An old 1967 fire truck that we built.
That was super cool.
That was also cool.
So you found the truck, and then what did you like? You graphed it up, you rebuilt it.
Yeah. Made it into like a little party truck with a little dance floor, DJ booth on the roof with like an umbrella. And,
amazing.
Yeah, it was very cool.
And you drove it over to the UK.
Had it in the UK. We brought it to some trade shows down in Germany, Munich P. What's it called again? Not P1.
Bread and Butter and
Butter,
ISPO and that. And then
the double decker.
And then we went all in, like inspired by Norwegian Russ, of course. Bought one of those British double-decker buses, kitted it down. That was awesome.
You bought a double-decker red British bus from London.
No, it wasn't like a British bus. It was just like a double-decker tour bus.
Okay, like a tour bus.
So like, it's a tour bus. And then, so lower floor was like a concept store. It was beautiful actually. And then with everything, with like a changing room and everything. Second floor was the party floor. It was kit out like it was like a luxury yacht, you know, with like this sort of seating. You had a TV in front that went up and down with the DJ booth. It had a terrace. The whole ceiling was like see-through, like music system everywhere. You can control from its iPad. It was like music facing outwards, and this awning, so you can like you just press a button for party, and it was like party outside and inside. It was wicked.
Insane.
As we started bringing that, but back to the point, like coming to these freshers fairs, especially like university, right?
Yeah.
Then our game was just like go around, talk to people, and then you sort of make an opinion of who are the cool kids, who are the ones that are doing the parties, or who are the ones with that knows kind of the right people or knows the ins, and then yeah.
So your strategy is almost like being Van Wilder. You know, remember from like that, when he goes to the campus, he's like the oldest student on campus, the coolest guy.
I felt a bit Van Wilder the last couple of seasons there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, but we also did, we started opening quite a lot of concept stores. And that was mainly for marketing and for, just kind of broadening our network. So when we wanted to go into Germany, for example, we started first online. We saw that we got, some movement in the online space. But if you go into the coolest place in Berlin and open a concept store and get a PR company to help you to invite some people, and then our entire team goes down and we just have a great party and lots of fun with another group of great fun people as well down there. Yeah, you tie relationships and you create a network, and a lot of these people turned out to really help us kind of build the brand in those markets. So yeah, also when we brought the tour bus over to the US as well. Rob, who works for us on marketing, he did the same thing as Ollie did in the UK, did a college tour all around the US. But we also brought it down to South by Southwest. And then we rented a massive house down there, had the bus there, and we went to one of the most, the coolest parties. We were like a sponsor of one of the best parties called the Ilmore.
The Ilmore.
The Ilmore it's called, yeah.
Just put on some clips of that party.
Okay,
Yeah. The Ilmore.
And you see the bus in action.
Yeah, there you see the bus in action. And then, on the bus, it's the hardest part to get into. And we got 10 tickets that we could give out for free. And we would put out on our Twitter that we had 10 tickets, meet us at this mall. And there was 1,000 people that rolled up in 10 minutes. They parked their car on the highway and just it was mayhem to get tickets to that party. And then we rolled the bus, there's a party going on, there's this double decker, it's a party with 1,000 people maybe in total, so it's not that massive. And then we just rolled in with this big Norwegian Russebus style one-piece bus, and it became the centerpiece of that whole event. On the bus we had Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid and I Love McConan, G-Eazy, A$AP Rocky.
Really? All at the party?
Yeah, they were all.
Did you get them in one pieces or?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No. One-piece party.
One-piece party.
Jesus, wow.
And that that kind of stuff also spreads in the press and stuff like that. So we worked a lot with that. And then when we opened our concept store in New York, Bella and Gigi came to a store opening.
How did you get that?
They actually started off as just kind of ambassadors for us. Gigi signed up to the Peacekeeper program, which is the runner-up to brand ambassador. So the Peacekeeper program was an ambassador program in One Piece, and we met through felles bekjente.
Common friends.
Common friends. Thank you. We met through common friends, and she became a Peacekeeper. And when we opened the store, she came to the store opening, but she only had, I think when she signed up to the Peacekeepers, she had around 200,000 followers on Instagram.
So this is early days.
Yeah, this is 2014.
She was just another sort of it girl.
Yeah, on our platform, she has created discount codes and done 85 sales or something with discount codes. Now, of course, she doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah,
she has better things to do.
Yeah.
But she was one of our early stage Peacekeepers and ambassadors. So so through opening kind of it was the university part, and then it was also just the networking with early stage influencers, people that.
And I think I was just thinking the common denominator that we did very, very well, right? So we got stands that say bread and butter, or we went to places like South by Southwest. We went to all these festivals, right? We got we always got the smallest and cheapest stand if we had to pay for it, right? So you got a 3x3 or whatever. But someone said you typically get 10 tickets or whatever, and you blag a few more, and then you sneak someone under there and stuff, and it's only like 50 people all dressed in one pieces, right? And you make so much more impact.
Yeah.
And the other guy in the stand next door, like he's a 3x3 with 3 people on it, like he gets nothing from it. And then everyone remembers that One Piece was there. Remember the bread and butter event, where we were just like, we're able to dress everyone in One Pieces. Like no one left that event
No.
having not seen One Piece.
No.
It was crazy.
It stands out that, you know, and it's something I experienced with entrepreneurs, just in any sort of tech space, right? You know, I have a saying which I say, charisma gets capital, right? And I don't mean that everyone has to be super charismatic and stand out to attract interest, whether that be sales interest, investment interest, you know, whatever it is. But you guys created this persona of a brand, right? Which you lived, and you made sure that the brand wasn't emulating that all the time, right? Do you think you would have been, you know, is there a big lessons you've had from sort of this experience of, you know, going out there, making a splash? You must have been towing the line a few times, whether police got involved, you almost got arrested or something, or was it all just like plain sailing? Or can you not talk about it legally?
Not talk about it legally.
That's a few stories that not on camera.
Not on camera, yeah.
No, but like we were, like, important part is like we were living the brand.
Yeah.
Like, we were wearing One Piece all the time. We were so I remember one time was like was this TV interview that on one of these stands with Bread and Butter or ISPO or whatever. It was like this guy, we had agreed someone to come for TV interview. It was German TV or something. They came to the stand at like 11 a.m. and I think I even slept on the stand from the party last night. Like people passed out everywhere. We were so hungover. It was just like atrocious in that sense. But it was perfect on brand, right? I remember you were like, you looked like
I was still drunk.
Shit. Definitely still drunk. But it was spot on, right? That was living the brand.
And I think, you know, one of the things, like when you kind of are a startup, right, the early stages, and you're young and you're doing it for the first time, you know, the beautifulness is like that, you know, that you're so blissful, right? You don't really know what, like, the consequences of things, and like when you do things the first time, like as I said, like, you know, when I say to Ollie, when, you know, if you knew kind of how much work it would have been in the very beginning, you maybe wouldn't have considered doing it, right? Yeah. But you just do step by step, and when you're a young startup, it's just, you know, kind of everything's allowed, you know. It's like, but we're just a young startup, you know. It's just like we had these small stands, like 3 meters, like, and we bring down this big fire truck or a big like double-decker bus, and like, oh, we want to have the double-decker bus. Oh, you want the double-decker bus inside, but you only have like a 10 square meter stand. And we're like, oh, but now the double-decker is outside. Like, you know, and you know, standing there with the tears in your eyes, and you're a young startup, and then, you know,
They're like, all right, fine.
An hour later, the bus is in the
center,
the centerpiece, and you know, everyone's having a big party around it. So
And the poor,
yeah, you have to
and
push the boundaries a bit.
Yeah.
And the poor band on the other side of the alley with like half the space, they paid like 20 times.
Yeah, but then like 5 hours later, they're on top of the bus partying and having a great time and forgetting their stand. So yeah, now you have to push the boundaries a bit, of course.
Yeah.
And don't think too much about the different consequences in the beginning. Like it's.
Exactly, and just don't not say like yes to everything. There's always like or like, oh, that's not possible. Of course it's possible, right? Of course the bus can
Don't
come
take
in.
no for an answer, basically.
no,
Yeah.
yeah.
But in a humorous and fun way, right? Where you're sort of, I suppose, like there's a genuine element to it. Like, you know, you guys are dressed in one pieces and you're sort of there like, oh, but come on, we want to put the bus in the center of the hall. And they're like, yeah, but you haven't paid 20,000 euros for a stand. You're like, oh, but you know, but please. So like there's an element of sort of just humility and I think something I've learned, which is people want to help people, right? And if you go there like with a genuine, and then whether that's asking Bella Hadid or one of the Hadids or any one of these celebrities to like be an ambassador, you know, the funny thing is, you know, say just to make it easy, there's 100 people in this room right now, and they all want to build a brand that's similar to this, right? Yeah. And, you know, you could say, well, One Piece, you know, this is how they did it. They did these, you know, ambassador branded events and partnerships and et cetera, with all these celebrities. And then probably 99% of the people in the room would 100 of them in the room would all think that this is a great idea. Oh, but we've missed the mark. It's too late to get, you know, Hadid or any of the others. But the one person in the room that actually sends that email, I think that's a good metaphor for life, because 99% of people think it's too hard, so they won't. You know, like they won't reach out to, like I did that, the first video I ever made in Oslo in 2019, I got Rune Belke, who, for those of you not watching this who aren't Norwegian, is the former CEO of the biggest bank in the country. He's a public figure. I think he's even a politician, you know. You know, I wanted him in this video, and you know what I wanted him to do? I wanted him to pitch me. So I wanted to do a role reversal where I would sit like this, a fat cat banker. He would stand up and go, "Hi, Matt. I'm here to pitch DNB Next." So it was a branding for him too, right? I just asked. Literally, I sent an email to someone I know who's mid-level in marketing. And I was like, "Hey, I've got a wild question. You know, here's an email. I want to ask Rune to do this thing." She was like, "No promises." I forwarded it to his team. 24 hours later, I get an email from his team. "You have 15 minutes at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Come to Bjørvika." 15 minutes with him. And then he comes down from his, you know, top floor office, and he goes, "Right, what are we doing here?" You know, and I was like, "All right, Rune, nice to meet you." You know, I'm the CEO of the biggest bank in the country, public figure, but I asked.
Yeah, because you would never get, if you ask, you would at least, it's one secure way you will not be able to get to do that is by not asking.
Exactly.
Right? That's the only 100%.
And that's what we've done a lot with, you know, people often ask us how were you able to get it on so many celebrities, like out of the top 10, like, you know, biggest Instagram celebrities in the world, you know, mention anyone, like they've all worn.
The only ones that hasn't is Ronaldo and Neymar.
Yeah.
So they said no.
Like
Ronaldo.
Rihanna,
No, just like-
Beyonce, Gigi Hadid, Taylor Swift,
Bieber, of course.
Justin Bieber,
Selena Gomez.
like, you know, all
And
like
Thomas
the
and Ola.
biggest. And Thomas and Ola. One Direction, we even made a special, like a One Direction one piece with them. And often, you know, it's, and of course the Kardashians and the Jenners and all those, and it's just been like, you know, asking, like, you know, sending it to them. And then of course when we opened these stores, like we opened a store on Robertson Boulevard in Los Angeles, right across the street from Chanel. And this was like this strip of, like, you know, there's 20 stores
Louis
there.
Vuitton,
and they're all-
Bulgari, yeah,
and then suddenly this brand out of nowhere selling like adult onesies open up like in the midst of it. And then you get attention, right? And we threw like a great opening party. And then when Kylie Jenner had her, I think it was her 16th birthday party, she went into the store with like tons of friends, and they all got jumpsuits, and, you know, the paparazzi was following after them. They got lots of attention. So yeah, through having those stores, we've gotten a lot of attention, but also just, you know, sending products to them. And, you know, Kardashians, they still call us every Christmas. I don't know how many billions of dollars they have, but, you know, every Christmas they still call us and, "Hey, can you send us some jumpsuits?" Yeah, we can also just go and buy it on the website. No, it's only $200. Like, you know? They call us every Christmas and, "Can you send us a package?" And you know, we send over some jumpsuits. But it's great PR for us.
Exactly.
They wear it in the show all the time, and yeah, it's good PR.
So yeah, I mean, this is obviously, like, you know, so many years now the brand's been alive, right? So I wanted to ask like one question, which is, I think, be valuable for anyone watching this. Like, what is your advice to reaching out to celebrities and getting endorsements, and like you've done it so successfully?
And I think, first of all, like we are lucky to have a lot of success stories, right? As you say, like we can go on, all these A-list celebs forever. But, you know, for every one of them, we've tried 100 times, right? It's not like we have.
So you didn't just ask them
100%
and they said
success.
yes. Yeah.
We know and hasn't been that much asking. It's a lot of more work behind, especially those big ones, right? Where it's like as network building all the time, like how you got to Bieber through Scooter and.
How did you get through to Bieber?
So I Googled the name, and the name was the ex-founder of Von Dutch. So that's pretty crazy. So we knew something was brewing. Anyways, that's our enemy number one. So we went straight out to LA to open a concept store there. Suddenly my phone rings. It's a US number, and it's Justin Bieber. And I'm like, hello, yes? And he's like, "Hey, yo, Thomas, I got your number from Corey. I need a